being that close to the Hart family, being in the Hart family, can you take me back to where you were when Owen passed away at Over the Edge?
Yeah, I was. We were watching the pay-per-view up at Davey and Diana's house, which is literally up the hill from Stu's, like less than like a 3-minute drive to Stu's. And so we were up there watching it, watching the pay-per-view. And there was a bunch of us. So like, if a bunch of people get together and watch pay-per-view, you don't just sit and you're not just hanging on to every word. You're all talking and you're watching the show, but you're all talking. So like, you see Owen's promo and then we're all like talking, like laughing, like he's, the promo about drink your milk, blah, 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 the Blue Blazer one. And then we're like, we're just talking. We don't realize, I guess, we didn't instantly realize like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler's like expression and like, I guess what they were saying. We were, laughing about Owen's promo and then when the camera's on Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, it took a second to register like, oh, maybe that match is later. Maybe they're talking about this next match. So it took a minute to kind of realize what was going on. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, Jim Ross is explaining that something happened to Owen. And I just remember like then I guess kind of like everybody else, we're not sure is this an angle? Is this a part of the show? Is this like what's happening here? And then like probably like before like I think maybe there's like a phone call. Then all of a sudden more people just start coming in. And then just like in my mind, man, in my memory, it just like then kind of mayhem kind of ensues of like, whoa, what's going on here? Then Davey found out that like Owen fell, but we weren't sure the result yet. And then I think we all stopped and then just head down to Stu's.
Wow. And then what happens from there?
Then from there we get word about Owen passing away. And now like almost everyone's at Stu's. It's just like by the minute more cars are pulling up. And then I can remember like Vince, he does like a press conference or something that day.
Yeah, that night. Yeah.
And I think he called Stu's either right before or right after that press conference. I don't know which one. And I remember like the phone being passed around. Like I remember Bruce, kind of Bruce Hart ripping into him, and Vince. I obviously can't hear Vince on the other side, but I just know like Vince took it, and Stu was talking to him. I think maybe a few others talked to Vince on the phone that night. That were at Stu's, I mean, and obviously they'd contacted Martha prior to that, I believe. And yeah, man, I can remember Stu saying like, Stu said something, and I don't know if it was like the promoter in him, but Stu said something like, he said something to the effect of like, man, I would like to Vince, like, I like almost like he felt bad for Vince. He said like, I feel bad for you. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes right now. And that's just how Stu was. Like he just lost a son, but he also understood that like it wasn't done out of malice. I think, I don't know. I can't speak for him, but he just the way he handled things, man. Stu is so stoic with everything. Like even like when Helen passed, she passed about 2 years before Stu. And obviously he was sad and he was like, it shook him, but he was pretty stoic. He's tough, man. He was so tough, inside and out, but also so generous and so nice. So yeah, man, I just remember it was a wild.
Oh man, I can't even imagine. In your opinion, how much do you think that factored into Bret not wanting to stay in WWF?
Oh man. I mean, I would think big time that he definitely didn't help anything with Bret and the company for sure.
I mean, you mentioned you train with Bret. Have you ever had like a formal match with him?
Um, no. Well, when he came back in 2010, we did some 6-man tags.
Right.
A team with him, but I never wrestled against him. But we wrestled some tags though.
But imagine Tyson Kidd versus Bret Hart.
Man, I wish. I remember one time I was like 16 and he was showing me a leg drop. And at the time, I'm a kid. And so every time I move, like every time if someone's going to drop an elbow or leg on me, I flinch. It's just a very natural reaction.
Sure.
And I remember like, Brett's like, all right, just don't move. And I remember like taking everything in me not to move. And I'm like, this is Bret Hart. And like, I got to make sure I don't move, man. And then like, boom, he drops this leg that like is so perfect and like didn't hit me. And I was like, oh my God, this is a real pro. This is what they do. Yeah.